Good morning, Gemini, and welcome back to your readings with Molly the Starkid at Starkidignited. I deeply apologize that I didn't get your videos out for August, so this reading will be a little bit extra, just so that I can say, yeah, thank you for understanding and thank you for being here with me. And I'm so excited to read your energy for September. September is when we're recording this, but these messages are always timeless. So you might watch this on the 30th of September and it's going to go for the next 30 days. It's really whenever you find it, Gemini. I trust that your intuition and your higher self will guide you to the messages when the time's right. This is part 1. Part 2 is on Patreon. All the information is below, so let's get into it. Okay. So let's start with your mermaid card, Gemini, and see what energy has been present for you. What is going on with Gemini? Okay. All right. Beautiful. Okay, so the first card that we get is the Unseen, Gemini, with too much is hidden from you. And this card looks a bit scary. Like, it feels her, the way that her tail is in that cave, it almost looks like an eye peering out behind her. So you may be feeling a little bit on edge. There might be a lot of anxiety or dark thoughts or just, like a looming dark feeling around you right now. Again, and feeling like things are hidden from you, like you don't have the full picture of what's going on in your life right now. There may be things that you're worried about, anxieties, fears that are coming up to be recognized, to be worked through. Yeah, and we'll see what else comes out with that card. I'll clarify it with some tarot to see, like, if there is anything hidden from you, what information your higher self wants to illuminate about that for you to give you more insight. But yeah, just really acknowledging the feeling of, maybe feeling like you don't know everything that's going on right now. And there is a skull there as well. So maybe feeling like, as we said, fear and like there's daunting energy around you. Because your next card that we get is vulnerability. And this card talks about open your heart, allow yourself to be tender. And we've got a male mermaid holding a human woman, potentially, rescuing her, or she looks quite, like she's releasing all her weight and she's trusting that mer being to kind of lift her up. So there might be, again, you may be feeling quite vulnerable about this unseen energy. Your anxiety might be something that's feeling really present. We do have a 39 breaking down to a 3, and we also have card 4. So, they could be, 4 can be a sign of stability, and the 3 is obviously the Holy Trinity, like mind, body, spirit. So you might have things about that might be threatening your stability that are going on right now that you don't have the full picture. You can't really see what's happening, but you have this sense, like this feeling. And then it might be really important to be really acknowledging the body, trying to sync up the mind, the soul, and the body together to work in unison. You might be feeling a bit scattered at this time. But yeah, definitely a message here of opening yourself up to be more vulnerable with yourself, maybe acknowledging how you've been feeling, trying to show yourself a little bit of compassion and kindness at this time. You may be in a situation where you're really needing support. You're needing others to help you in ways that you're not comfortable with asking. Not comfortable asking for, needing to just let your defenses down a bit, let your guard down a bit, and let other people in. Find people that can love you and that you trust and that will accept you even if you don't always agree with everything, but who can be there for you and just show you some care and some support while you're going through this time frame. So I'm going to jump straight to tarot and then we'll jump to other stuff because I just want to get 3 cards to clarify each one of these cards so we can get some more information. So Spirit, what are 3 cards to clarify the unseen? for Gemini, Sun, Moon, Rising, and North Node. Okay, we get 4. Okay, so I'll just start with the unseen. So we get the 5 of Wands. We get the High Priestess. Then we also get the 10 of Cups, which is also in the Chariot. So we have fire and lots of water energy, as well as the High Priestess, who's like, you know, a very powerful spiritual figure, our intuition embodied. So it does feel like there might be something that you've been doing lately that has led you to feel like you're having to defend yourself among other people. Like you have this idea, you have this passion that you've been moving forward with, and you've had to really it's caused other people to fight with you. It's caused a lot of conflict, needing to defend yourself, having to kind of test the strength of your idea with other people in conflict. So it's like, you know, when you say like, oh, I really like this thing, or I'm really passionate about this, and then all these other people come in saying like, no, well, what about this? And like, you haven't even thought about, and like kind of arguing. But it does feel like your intuition has been strongly with you, Gemini, during this time frame. You feel like this new idea is leading you to total happiness, that it's something that fulfills your heart, that you think is going to really lead you to that happily ever after, and lead you to feel emotionally stable, fulfilled, nurtured. It's something that means a lot to you. It really speaks to your heart. So this conflict could be, you know, quite unsettling for you if it is something that's really important to you, that other people aren't able to really see where you're coming from or agree with you at this time. I guess, and you want to also be careful to not be blinded too much about one solitary focus. Like even when people are arguing with us, and although that's, you know, it's not fun when someone doesn't agree with us, it can sometimes be a mirror reflection of something that's happening in our own internal world. Like, is there something about the idea that you're not willing to see, you know, that is kind of in the unseen, is in the shadows for you? And through this conflict, you're able to kind of see beyond the veil with the High Priestess, like see what's going on that deeper emotional level that you may not be wanting to really face in your life right now. Because I can see that you are very, you know, with the Chariot here, you're very determined, you're very strong-willed, and you're using that like divine purposeful side of you to move forward with this thing and achieve what you need to achieve. But as we have the Chariot with like the black and the white sphinxes together here, representing, you know, both sides of ourselves, the masculine, feminine, the dark, the light, both are needed to be able to move forward with this idea. So there might be a reason why people are kind of bringing things up to you, and although it might feel argumentative or like you're needing to, like people aren't getting it, try to take a step back and have a look at objectively if there's anything about what they're bringing up that you feel on the inside or that you haven't addressed, just to ensure that if there is something that your higher self is trying to bring to your attention, that you're present with it. Okay, let's see what... Sorry, can I just get 3 cards? So what is this vulnerability card for Gemini about? The World. Ah, we keep getting 4. Okay. That's all right. So the first 2 cards that we get are the World and the Hierophant. So a big cycle for you is ending or has ended, likely to do with your values, traditions, maybe even like old religious viewpoints or ways that you used to make sense of the world, that there's been something that's ended here. But it's with the 5 of Pentacles and the Page of Swords, it's led you to feel a bit left out in the cold. Like maybe you don't really understand why you're feeling this way, or you know, well, not you don't understand why you're feeling this way, but it may be more that, like, you know, you might be feeling a little bit shunned from other people, like you're on the outside, like you've taken big steps and you've closed certain big chapters in your life, but it's led you to feeling that maybe financially or even just in the physical realm that you don't have what you need. You're left out in the cold. It can be like a homelessness feeling, a feeling of extreme lack in the physical. Like these people they're hurt and they're wandering out in the snow, but there is like this beautiful big church here with like riches that they could go into that would potentially help them, but not really wanting to go into that. And those Page of Swords with this new idea. So like, yeah, you may have potentially like something's ended and you have this new viewpoint that you've been working really hard to understand and to like find your own sense of happiness, but leaving behind so much and having so many of your values and your maybe old traditions like fall away, it might have been quite a jarring revolutionary change, you know, like there wasn't a lot of time for yourself to catch up with everything that's happening. And so what it feels like Spirit is trying to tell you here is to remember that you can be soft and tender. Like you don't need to like throw the baby out with the bathwater. Like you're allowed to disagree with people, you're allowed to change your mind and do things differently, but it doesn't mean that everyone's an enemy because of that. You can find ways to cooperate and seek assistance and work together with others while also having your own unique viewpoints and working towards your own goal. That when you're vulnerable with people and when you can allow people to see that, you know, you're feeling that you're feeling left out and that you're feeling a bit wounded at this time, that it's okay and that the right people will be able to assist you. And to not forget how to be vulnerable with the right people. Like when someone's showing you that they really care and that they want to love you and they want to support you, to know how to let those people in and to give, to accept for yourself that love and comfort just as much as you would want to give it to someone when they're in this position. Okay, so let's see. So I'll get like a card of your emotions, Gemini. So how are they feeling, Spirit, overall? How is Gemini feeling overall? We get Orca with communications. And Orcas like move in really big family pods. So you may be feeling like when you really want to communicate with people around you, that you have a lot to say, maybe needing, again, like to be able to talk something through with people. Let me just see. To be transparent with yourself about whatever opportunity that you did have, because it does look like there's a lot of the unexpected coming up and hidden obstacles that have created a need for you to really need to trust the people that are willing to help and to trust yourself in this situation. But yeah, it does look like communication is a big point for you these next 30 days. You may be trying to communicate more with those around you, trying to establish who you can be your real self with, who you can let who you can let in a way that feels safe and trustworthy. And this also might have a lot to do with family. So that could be something where you're feeling left out in the cold, if that is, if they're part of, you know, those values or beliefs that have ended, that you've had to leave behind. Because you may have been coming across a lot of unexpected boundaries and things, just a lot of change and things that you didn't anticipate on this journey. What would the higher self say to Gemini Spirit? Yeah, it does feel like you're in like Gemini, like something scared you. Something has kind of really made you question a lot of what's going around you, and it's leading to a feeling of being blocked from your creativity, not being able to access that like happy, bubbly, everything's going to be okay in the end kind of energy. So at this moment in time as well, you may need to be having more boundaries with certain people, or even boundaries with yourself. Like, for example, if you're consuming a lot of media right now, or you're doing things that are causing you a lot of fear or unsettlement, to have a lot of boundaries with yourself. Like, say, like, okay, if I need to, you know, watch the news, or like whatever it may be, like go on social media or something, maybe give yourself a time limit, and then also do something that you know is positive for your mental health, or positive for you in a way that makes you feel more able to be vulnerable and safe and secure, doing that for the equal amount of time that you're doing that thing that you know is probably not in your best interest right now. And that might assist you in unlocking more of this creativity, being able to the crabs are like rolling sand into little balls. So, you know, taking something that feels really messy and chaotic and being able to work slowly at something and making it work for you, and creating something new and special out of what you have in abundance. So yeah, there might be new ways that you'll be able to see this thing, that when you're feeling safer, your creativity will spark, and you'll be able to actually use all this nervous energy to create something, to make something new, to transmute this energy, and that is going to come in for you. But yeah, just make sure that you are having boundaries with yourself and being gentle with yourself, and finding people that you can, again, communicate with to get some of this energy out, because you have been dealing with a lot of unexpected change and things that you weren't able to see, that you weren't able to predict. Okay. All right. So I'm going to pull some more tarot. Let's see. Spirit, how has Gemini been showing up? What is going on with Gemini? How have they been showing up? What is their current energy? Okay, so yeah, like it looks like so you've been feeling really fiery and passionate, but like this energy is blocked. So that might be causing a lot of frustration and anger. Feeling quite flighty, like you're wanting to get moving and release a lot of this energy. And it may have to do with because your security is feeling threatened, or your home, your stability. What is the challenge? Yeah, so we get the Eight of Wands. So there's lots of, and you have the Knight of Wands in reverse as your current energy with the Ten of Pentacles. So there might be a lot of change or a lot of messages that are coming in regarding your stability, maybe something to do with finances. We get the Page of Cups in reverse as well. So I'm just... yeah, your emotions might be getting the best of you at this time as well. So feeling quite like, again, like emotionally immature, like, I can say it in a better way, I know. Yeah, you might be just be feeling really like you're blocked from your intuition, you're blocked from your heart at this time and from your innocence, like, or like your innocence and your emotional like inner child is being threatened by all these changes, by all this energy that's coming in for you. Spirit is reminding you that you're the magician, that you have a lot of ability to alchemize this energy and come out on top of it. But you have to also remember that you have this ability, that it's going to take you relying on all the parts of yourself again in unison to be able to get through this time and to remain calm and in your power. Don't let this situation remove you from your inner knowing of what is best for you, and also to reclaim your ability to make yourself feel emotionally safe, to not rely on others to do this, to find practices where, like maybe meditation or visualization, something where you're able to kind of take an objective look and escape the overworking of our emotions, of our fears, and to get that higher perspective to know the best way forward. What was the energy leading Gemini up to this situation, Spirit? We get the Seven of Pentacles. So it does feel like you were working really hard towards something and you were being patient. You were taking your time and, you know, tending this garden, like showing up, allowing something to grow. What is the next step for Gemini in this situation? And then the next step we get is the Two of Pentacles upright. So there may be something that you're needing to like change, to rearrange, to reprioritize and juggle to get through. It does look like you are going to be able to handle whatever this situation is, but that there needs to be a acknowledgement of, you know, like things. Okay. An acknowledgement that like a death process needs to happen. There needs to be something that you know, that isn't working for you, that's decaying, that's old, and that needs to be laid down and put to rest in order for you to be able to like move forward. And it could be something to do with, yeah, like refusing to think things through and wanting to just move and react. That part of you is likely what is needing to be transformed, needing to be transmuted, allowed to be put down, and for an inner emotional strength to come through. Let's see, what is Gemini focused on right now, Spirit? Wow, we get strength, the Sun, and Wheel of Fortune. So there could be definitely a Leo involved here. You know, you could be focused on maybe wanting to be recognized for your strength, wanting to yeah, maybe like it feels like this is a necessary part of the process right now, that there is a lot that needs to be transformed and for change to happen. But you keep focusing on, you know, when things were easier, wanting that innocence to return, wanting that the luck and the happiness and joy to flow through again. What is in the unseen? Okay, and we get 7 of Cups with the 4 of Wands. So yeah, your unconscious or your subconscious is feeling very confused as to what's going to actually lead to happiness and fulfillment. You feel like there are so many options and you don't know which one to take. And you have this sense that like not all of them are safe. Like some of them are good, some of them are bad, but not knowing what one to essentially go with. And it does look like the energy that's like coming up over the next few days will be kind of deciding between some options, like 2 options that you narrowed down. What would be best for Gemini Spirit? What would be best? So maybe look to the past and consider what used to make your heart feel safe and feel happy. There's kind of like an opposite energy here of like the 6 of Cups is often looking at the past, and then the 3 of Wands is like waiting for our ships to come in. So looking ahead and waiting for something to come in. So why? Yeah, like right now you are quite emotionally blocked and it's affecting your ability to really be able to make a clear decision. So getting to a space where you are feeling confident and held and safe, and then look forward and visualize what it is that you really want. What is it that will truly make you feel happy and safe in this moment? And that should assist you in making this choice as to what is going to lead to your happiness and to be able to plan more for the future. Okay. All right, so let's see. So let's get some cards from your higher self. So Spirit, what would Gemini's higher self say to them? What message does their higher self have for them? So we have let it go. This situation no longer serves you. Allow me to sever your energetic connections to the past so you can embrace the future. What else would their higher self say, Spirit? What message does their higher self have with them about vulnerability? Trust in divine purpose. This experience has divine meaning. Healing will come, but know that you're on a path of growth. So there's definitely something bigger on a soul level that you're learning, that you're going through. And it does have to do with being more tender with yourself and others, feeling safe to express and show your vulnerability. Because the next cards that we have from your higher self are your loved ones are safe. Let go of your fear and worry for your loved ones. I'm looking after them. Open up to your spiritual gifts. Remember that your true nature is spiritual, not physical. The angels are sending you messages to guide your soul's growth. And have no fear. Fear is a trap of the ego. Allow me to use my sword of light to free you from the disquieting feelings holding you back. So you may be needing to let go of like always trying to predict what's around the corner with that unseen energy, to really trust in the divine purpose of where you are, and in that way being able to surrender a little bit, to remove the separation of feeling that life is, you know, chaotic and scary, and feeling into that higher self, into your heart, your inner being, to tell you that, you know, your soul planned for your life. It's got a divine intelligence. There's a lot of information that your body has, that your soul has, that your conscious mind may find hard to access or hard to understand. So in those moments, we are needing to just let go a little bit and trust that there's a divine purpose taking place right now. Know that your loved ones are safe. Know that through Spirit's eyes, they can always, like the angels, the guides, source itself, God, knows exactly what's happening next, knows exactly what's happening. They can predict literally every outcome. And so in their eyes, they know that we are all safe. We're all, you know, we're here to learn soul lessons, and sometimes those things are difficult and scary, but there is a higher purpose to it. And our human mind wants to figure it all out. It wants to know and to predict. But we often end up just terrifying ourselves, exhausting ourselves when we try to do that. And it feels like you're in this kind of state, Gemini, where you're needing to just relax your heart, relax your mind a little bit, and open up to your spiritual gifts. They're going to be able to assist you in getting through this this trying time, and to release some of that fear you have, to know that it's an illusion, it's false evidence appearing real, and we're always going to be able to get through something if we just focus on taking like the next step, just putting one foot in front of the other. If it's too scary to look out and look ahead right now, just focus down, focus on the task at hand. Remind yourself what is in your control, and try to let go a little bit of all the possibilities, all the different scenarios that you may have running through your head. Allow a divine surrender to come in, and that's going to assist you to get through these next 30 days in the best possible way for you. Okay, so I have this pleasure deck by Jericho Mandiba. So I'm going to pull a card from this just as a special extra message for you guys. So we'll see what comes through and what could hopefully bring a little bit more pleasure to your life right now. And, you know, we can focus out of pain and fear and refocus on pleasure and what feels good, and how we can just bring some nurturance and comfort and joy to ourselves, no matter what situation or state that we find ourselves in, because you deserve that. So, Spirit, what would you like to tell Gemini? Okay, is there any further? Okay, so we get 2 Gemini. I'll read you the first one. This is the image. And it says deep breath. So the link between breathing and our sensual expression cannot be overstated. With full, life-giving breath, we can activate our vitality and experience our body's pleasure more wholly. With a short, shallow breath, we are cut off from our sensations. We create a stress response and our health suffers. So definitely pay attention to how deep you're breathing. A really good practice that I use is putting a hand on my heart and putting a hand on my belly. And before changing my breath, just noticing how deeply I'm breathing, because sometimes it is quite shallow. And then putting more focus and attention to breathing into my belly, and to really just feel the peace and the quietness of having that soul focus. And yeah, as this is saying, it should bring a lot more pleasure into your life. So Action. Take a long, nourishing breath in through your nose, pulling the air up from your expanding stomach for 3 seconds. Hold. Now breathe it out slowly through your mouth for 3 seconds, letting your stomach deflate as you breathe out for a full, rich exhalation. Repeat for a few more rounds. Now, doesn't that feel better? Beautiful. So some nice big breaths. I didn't know that they were going to literally explain how to breathe after I said that. And this is your next card. So the first card had some like gray, purpley blues, some peach colors, some yellow. And now we get some more orange and yellow and purple. So, and this card says, you're alive. To experience hurt and loss is to become more wise. Nothing good ever came from playing it safe. Whereas risk may contain injury, it also contains every imaginable treasure. So dare yourself to do something major. It's by moving through pain rather than bypassing it that we come face to face with pleasure. That goes for life as much as it does for, and it says kink, action. Because life's heartbreaks will come whether you welcome them or not, you may as well invite them in and accept their gifts. It would be rude not to. To feel pain is to know you're alive, and what a gift that is. Okay. So yeah, so really, I guess trying to get a bit more imaginative and accepting when something goes wrong, when we are feeling pain, when we are feeling, fear and worry, to look at it through the soul's eyes, to remember that we're alive, we're here, that life can't always be roses and perfect, but the more that we can meet painful experiences, we don't have to keep suffering. We can start seeing them in a new way and invite their lessons in, and in this way let it go a lot faster and not hold on to all that energy. And just remember to take really deep breaths as you're going through this process, and it's a good way to really contact our subconscious and remind it that we're safe and we're okay, and we will get through this process even if we don't have every single answer when we take that first step. All right, Gemini, thank you so much for being here. I really hope this resonated. This reading took a few different turns. But yeah, I really hope that it assisted you in wherever you are in your on your path and on your journey at this time. I'm going to jump over to part 2 down below on Patreon, where we will look at love, career, and money. I hope you enjoyed your little extended reading for this month. I love you guys so much, and yeah, you're going to get through this even stronger than before, even wiser than before. And yeah, until I see you next, bye guys.